Hi everyone, it's Nancy Reynolds, your favorite public adjuster. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to protect your home with the holidays coming up. So I'm going to read a little bit. I'm going to need to put my glasses on to see, unfortunately. But I'm going to read a little bit from the American Red Cross on how to protect some of the things that protects you from fires. Now, 47,000 fires occurred during the winter holiday, claiming more than 500 lives, causing more than 2,200 injuries, and costing $554 million in property damage. So, I know we all think that the fires won't happen to us, and hopefully they will not. And here are some of the ways that you can protect yourself and help keep that fire from happening to you. First of all, always have a working smoke alarm. We all know this, but how many people never check or don't check often enough? Now, having a working smoke alarm, reduces your chance of dying in a fire by nearly half. So that is a good information to keep. Always make sure that your smoke alarms work, and a good time is to test it now when you're ready to put up all your decorations. Now, place your Christmas tree and candles or other holiday decorations at least 3 feet away from a heat source such as a fireplace, the portable heaters, radiators, heat vents, and candles. Now, I know we all know that we wouldn't put it right by the fireplace or in front by the portable heater, but how many times do we think about the radiator or the candles or the heat vents? I sure wouldn't think about the heat vents, but that is something that you need to keep in mind. Now, keep your fresh trees well moisturized. You need a lot of water for that. You don't want to get your needles dry too early. That's more of a chance of having an electrical fire. Make sure all your lights do not have any frayed electrical cords. I know it seems like, oh, it still works, it's fine, but that is a very good way of causing a fire. Doesn't take much to have a spark. So you want to make sure that they're not frayed, and if they are, don't use them. It just isn't worth the chance. Unplug your tree and the lights before you leave your home or go to bed. Always use a sturdy tree stand that's designed not to tip over, especially if you have pets. They want to play with the Christmas decorations on it. They get involved. They can hide behind it and very easily tip it over. Pulling something could cause damage. It could be falling on a heat vent and things like that. And after guests leave, make sure you walk around your property or your home inside and make sure that all candles and any smoking materials are properly extinguished. That is some of the tips from the American Red Cross. Now, I also have a few tips on my own to help keep your property in the condition that it should stay in. First, if you're going to have a live tree, put down some plastic before you put your tree in place. That way, when you're watering your tree, you do not need to worry about the water spilling over and damaging your flooring. A lot of times what happens is that when you remove the tree, you see a watermark from all that water that you thought you wiped up well enough, but it still can leave marks, and you don't want that. Or even on carpeting, you may find that the metal stand is leaving a mark on your carpeting from the water. So the good news, though, is that on most policies, something like that is covered. And that can be more of an expense than you realize, so you want to make sure that as much as you can that you're preventing this from happening. Also, make sure that you're keeping decorations and towels, things like that, you know, the decorating towels, the Christmas towels and things like that, away from any of the fires, especially if you have a gas stove, but it can catch on fire with electric stove too. Be careful on those things. Anything that you're wearing that has long sleeves that may be a little fancier and maybe having more material on the sleeve end, reaching over while you're cooking. Be very careful that way. Certainly you don't want to burn yourself, and it's just sometimes not even paying attention. So you're rushed, you're working, you're trying to get a lot accomplished, and sometimes you just don't think about, my arm is crossing right over that heat source. So just be careful. If you do experience this kind of loss, any kind of loss like this, please call me first. I can tell you right or wrong if your policy is covering this without you having to go to your insurance. They don't need to know if it's not something that you want to pursue. So just needed to ask the question, I'm here. But if you do have a fire, please call me first. Even with a fire, you think you're going to call your insurance first, but you want to call me first, so we can represent you properly to make sure that you get everything that you should be getting. Now, I know we all think that our insurance company is a good insurance company and is going to take care of what your loss is, especially when it's catastrophic, as such, like a fire that destroys your whole home. But as you can see on the commercial even, an insurance commercial, that not all insurance companies pay the same way. So that is an indication that they're not always going to pay everything that you think should be covered unless you have someone working on your side. And that is a public adjuster, and hopefully that's me. So that's my tips for this holiday season. I hope you stay safe and have a great one. And again, if you need my help, my name's Nancy Reynolds, 609-670-7380. I would appreciate it if you like and share. Thank you, and have a good one. Bye.